So over the past year, I've received a ton of comments about Webtoon. Many of you are curious about whether I've ever made a Webtoon, if I plan on ever making a Webtoon, or if I've read a particular Webtoon. And some of you even wonder if I'm the same person as this artist or this artist. Which makes me feel very flattered, but no, I've actually never made a Webtoon. And to be honest, up until recently, the only online webcomics I'd ever read were Girls of the Wilds and Cucumber Quest, both of which are absolutely fantastic, by the way. So I'm actually really inexperienced in the world of webtoons. I can already tell some of you are like, "Girl, what took you so long? I've been telling you about webtoons since June of 2017. And I'm happy to inform you that Webtoon actually approached me to check out some of their popular titles, to which I was like, sweet, now I get to see what all the hype is about. So in this video, I'm going to be reading/reviewing an ongoing Webtoon series that I've taken an interest in, with the help of my dear friend CDawgVA, who I believe has the perfect voice for the character I want him to play. But before we dive into that, for the 5% of you who aren't familiar with Webtoon and haven't been asking me 100 questions about it, Webtoon is a free app where you can read hundreds of webcomics of varying genres that are updated daily and are all 100% free to read. Honestly, thank God I didn't know about this in college, because your girl would have gotten nothing done. Today, I'm going to be focusing on Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith, which is a modern retelling of the Persephone and Hades myth. So for those of you who are fans of works inspired by Greek mythology, this one's for you. I was initially drawn to this particular title because just look at those colors! Haha, I can't relate, my sense of color theory sucks. I fell in love with the sketchy look and the splashes of colors representing each character, which works really nicely for this story. You have Hades, god of the underworld, represented by shades of blue and a cold, lonely, gloomy demeanor to match. On the other hand, Persephone, the goddess of spring, is represented with bright shades of pink and a naive but cheerful and soft personality, both of which are even more emphasized when she finds herself in the underworld. She also occasionally grows long flowing hair when she feels stressed out, which she always ends up cutting. And she has an overbearing and overprotective mother who kept her sheltered for most of her life. She kinda reminds me of Rapunzel. So due to some unfortunate circumstances, which involve a kidnapping not conducted by Hades, but instead a jealous goddess, Aphrodite, to both his and Persephone's surprise, she finds herself in his house, in the underworld, with his big scary dog. But lucky for her, Hades happens to be quite the kind and awkward gentleman, and after warming up to each other, some playful banter ensues.
You and your brothers are known for many sordid affairs. Come on. Do I look like a scoundrel to you?
Yes. I'd say 30% scoundrel at least.
That's fair. You'll have to let me know if my scoundrel percentage increases.
Also, we've been talking all morning and you haven't introduced yourself. I believe that bumps you up to 31% scoundrel.
Come on! I know you know who I am.
32%.
You little so-and-so. Here. Hades, king of the underworld and god of the dead.
Persephone, goddess of spring. I made them myself.
This says Kore. Miss Kore, do you go by another name?
Oh, that's an old one. Could I have it back, please?
No way. This is hilarious. It's barely legible.
My mother says that making things yourself builds character.
I have enough character for multiple lifetimes. Oh, sorry.
There's clearly a romantic connection in their interactions, and even after they part ways, they still think of each other, much to the dismay of some of their friends and family. In addition to our main characters, you also meet a cast of other gods and goddesses of Olympus with wildly different personalities, some that you grow to love, and others you hate, with a deep passion. Since this webtoon is fairly new, it's still ongoing and the story hasn't really been fleshed out a whole lot yet. However, I look forward to seeing how Persephone matures and learns to control her powers, and how the romance between her and Hades blossoms. Haha, get it? Blossoms? Because she's the goddess of... Alright, you know what? Never mind, you get it. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the romance trope where the super serious, moody character is reduced to a puddle of embarrassed blushes and awkward shy glances. I don't care how overdone it is, I will eat it up. It's really interesting to see how, even though Hades and Persephone are so different in both personality and life experiences, they both struggle with self-doubt, loneliness, and the fear of being disliked by the people around them, which makes their interactions all the more adorable.
Are you crying?
No.
I'm the king of the underworld. I know crying when I hear it. I'm sorry. I can call another time. Just thought since you were out.
No! Please don't go! Oops. I just don't want to be alone.
I won't go.
Anyways, I really don't want to spoil anything, so if this looks like a story that you'd be interested in, go check it out on Webtoon. And while you're there, feel free to look around for more titles to catch up on while you wait for your favorites to update. Because let's be honest, you're gonna breeze through these Webtoons within a short afternoon. I should mention that while this story has an adorable main character and art style, it also includes some darker adult themes that aren't exactly appropriate for the younger reader, so I'd say this one is a lot more suitable for young adults and older. With that said, there are a ton of different comics suitable for all ages on Webtoon, so don't be afraid to explore. If you're already an avid Webtoon reader and you have a favorite title that you think I should check out, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I recently found out that the creator of Siren's Lament actually attended the same college as me at around the same time, which I think is a super cool coincidence, so I'll be taking a look at her Webtoon next. By the way, I'll be visiting my parents in Korea next month, and in one of my earlier videos, I mentioned the existence of a Webtoon workshop center that I didn't get a chance to explore, so let me know if you're interested in having me check it out and record what I see. And to answer the question of whether or not I plan on making my own Webtoon, it's definitely something I'd love to do one day, but first I'd need to figure out a solid story and really plan it out since creating a Webtoon seems like a huge commitment. It's certainly on my bucket list. Huge thank you to Webtoon for sponsoring this video, and thank you to Connor for lending his lovely voice to my video once again.